Hey y'all, what is up? Keasbey here, and we are going live. First and foremost, sorry it's kind of been a minute since I've done a live. Just been absurdly busy with work, so haven't really had a chance to do this. But so here's what's on the agenda for today. I'm going to be resleeving a bunch of decks, and while we do that, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. First, we're going to do a little bit of channel, like, housekeeping stuff. That'll be quick. I want to talk about the ban list a little bit and kind of what I think is going to happen going forward. I've had a little more time to like sit with it. I've spoken to my poor Terrell Minishizu friends, and they have some thoughts that they talk to me about, and I kind of have to go back on something I said in my video. And then I kind of want to talk about Floowandereeze and what I think about it for the new ban list. So the housekeeping stuff first. Working on this, I haven't updated the deck, so if you're watching me resleeve this deck, this is not my new format deck yet. I've been working on it on Edo Pro, and it's close. It's close to where I want it to be. I'm not like 100% comfortable. Ooh, my mic quality's bad? Give me 1 second, hang on. Is it better now? Can you hear me better now? Mike's sounding very funky. What is happening? Why is it doing that? Hang on.
All right. How are we sounding now? Any better? Any better now? Hey, what up? Sorry, we're dealing with a quick mic issue. How are we sounding now? Very echo. All good? Okay, cool. So yeah, where were we? Oh, so channel housekeeping stuff. Yeah, I'm working on a Floowandereeze profile. I'm still awesome. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, in any stream, if there's ever like a mic or a sound problem, please tell me immediately. I'm not going to be offended. I would so much rather hear it early from you guys than find out after I watch it later and I'm like, wow, I can't hear myself. So, yeah, like I said, working on the Floowandereeze deck right now. It's almost where I want it to be. So definitely next week, I'm going to have something updated for all y'all. So there's that. I am working on a video right now. It has nothing to do with Floowandereeze. It's kind of the next archetype that I'm going to be working into the channel. I'm really, really excited for it. It's not replacing Floowandereeze, so don't worry about that, but we're going to be talking about it alongside Floowandereeze. And then the last thing, we've been having a bunch of people buy mats lately. This is the mat that I sell is the one on here. So huge thank you to anyone who's bought a mat. It is super helpful. It's like, you know, the mic, the webcam, all that stuff comes from people buying the mats. I do want to throw it out there. There are only 4 of these left. So if anyone was thinking about picking one up, there's only 4 left. So, all right, all that out of the way. I'm going to start resleeving, and we are going to talk about the ban list. So, all right. I'm going to talk about Stormwinds in depth later on. I have kind of like, I don't know. I'll say this really quick. I don't think Barrier Statue being hit really hurts Floowandereeze that much. And I really don't think I kind of don't think it's worth trying to replace. So that's first and foremost about the, Barrier Statue. Kit Kalos getting banned, I think, is pretty huge, obviously, for Tier Element. I said in the video, based on like the Kit Kalos ban and everything getting limited, I was like, this deck is done. Like, how do you play this deck anymore? And my friends who are on Tier Element, after they got over the initial shock, they've kind of explained like, okay, they have like new lines of play. They're working in the Kashtira stuff. So basically the Tier Element Ishizu deck kind of like reverted back a little bit. Like they're back on stuff like King of the Swamp, Hard Poly, and stuff like that. And they are using Tier Element, Kashtira, and Kashtira Fenrir or Kashtira Unicorn. And they go ahead and they end up making Draco Sack. With the Draco Sack tokens, they make Sprite Sprint, and that kind of starts off their plays. Um, do I think playing DD Crow is good now? Adam Manspared best deck. Lou, get out of here with that. um, I it pains me to say it because I love DD Crow, but I don't think DD Crow is super worth it at the moment. I still have to do a little more testing. That's kind of been a card that I've been like, I don't know if I want to keep it around or get rid of it. But yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to talking about the Floowandereeze stuff. So far as Banlist stuff though, yeah, I mean that's really all there is to talk about. Is like Tier Element got wrecked, but I think it's still going to be around. And after talking to people I know who know the deck much better than I do, they're pretty sure that it's still going to stick around in some way or another. Obviously not Tier 0 anymore. Kashtira is interesting. I mean, Kashtira obviously won the ban list. No, I didn't talk about Snell yet. We'll get to that. Kashtira won the ban list. Nothing got hit. They just got all their new stuff. Chaos Hunter we'll talk about. So I don't think Kashtira is going to be Tier 0. I've seen some people saying that Kashtira is going to be Tier 0 now. It's obviously Tier 1. It is a remarkably strong deck, don't get me wrong. But now that I can focus on actually playing against it, whereas like before when I ran into it on Edo Pro, it was all pre-release, so I wasn't really like prepping to play against it. And I don't know, it doesn't feel as strong as it did when I wasn't prepared for it, obviously. So that's kind of like, I think it's going to be really strong, and I think we do have to adjust the deck a little bit to like deal with it. But like, oh, speaking of which, like if you evenly match a Kashtira board, it's like cool. Like what they keep Arise Heart and you can play around the Arise Heart, or they keep Shangri-La and you can play around that. So it's like, I don't know, it's not as unbeatable as full power Sprite Tier Element, I think. And then as far as everything else on the ban list, like all the unlimits and everything, Yatagarasu could have gone to 3 forever ago. I don't think Spiral is going to do much more beyond like being like a fun rogue option. And I have actually seen people kind of mixing Servant of Endymion in with Sword Soul, which has been kind of interesting. They use like the pendulum worms and stuff to do stuff. I didn't see too much of it. It doesn't seem that crazy strong to me. So like I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. So that's really it for the ban list. Overall, Kashtira I think is going to be Tier 1 for sure. I think Floowandereeze is still going to be remarkably strong without Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, which I mentioned it in the video, but I'm just going to mention here. Barrier Statue being banned was not a hit against Floowandereeze. I mean, like, obviously it hits Floowandereeze, but if Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds was hit because Kashtira was playing it. If you don't know and you haven't seen it, basically Kashtira goes through their whole combo. They lock down 3 to 8 of your zones depending on how cracked they opened. And then they can, if they've got a few extra level 7s, they make the Raid Raptor rank 7 and just toss a Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds at the end of that board. So that's why Barrier Statue got banned. It had nothing to do with us. They ruined it for us. Okay, so let's talk Floowandereeze. I'm going to kind of go in order of like a lot of the questions and stuff that you guys posted. So the big one that everyone has been talking about is Snowell and kind of how do I feel about enemy controller? We're going to come back to that because I'm thinking about playing enemy controller again. I want to talk about Snowell for a minute. So the first thing is a lot of people have been saying like, oh, Snowell, Book of Eclipse is really good right now. Play Snowell. Snowell doesn't quite fit the same niche as Book of Eclipse. The really good thing about Book of Eclipse is if you're going second, you can blank an entire Kashtira board, like immediately. You can't do that with Snowell going second. If you go second with Snowell, you have to establish the Snowell and then resolve the Snowell. And that's going to be somewhat difficult to do without already kind of like cracking through a bit of the Kashtira board. And if you could already crack through the Kashtira board, you didn't need the Snowell. So like, I think for going second, and I still feel very strongly that going second is kind of like the move for Floowandereeze right now. I've been just absolutely loving going second with it. I don't think you want Snowell going second. As for going first, it's more defensible going first, but I still don't think you really need Snowell. It's a 5th. like it is a 5th tribute summon in a deck that already has problems with consistency. You always are going to want, unless you have an absurd opening, you're always going to be searching Eaglin first turn or M-Pen first turn with Eaglin. And then honestly, at that point, like Ryza's kind of the better move, like a well-timed Ryza. Book of Eclipse is also good going first, yeah. We'll talk about Book of Eclipse in a little bit too, I think. But that's kind of my take on Snowl. Like, I don't think... Oh, guys, say goodbye. I haven't updated this deck since the ban list. So, we're gonna put it in a new sleeve anyway, just to be in good spirits about it. But yeah, so overall, kind of my take on Snowl is... I don't think it's the way to go. I will say this though, I wish Snowl was good. I do absolutely love the card. I think it's hilarious. I think it is like really funny and it is really good in a vacuum, but in practice, there's just no reason to play it. All right, what else? Scary Sea is the other one I've seen people talking about. Oh, for barrier statue. Thank you guys. Scary Sea is the other one I've seen people talking about. And I mentioned it in my hot take video, kind of my feeling about Scary Sea. And it is kind of the same. I don't like the fact that you need a tribute summon monster for Scary Sea. That's kind of like my biggest problem with it. Because once you get to the point of having a tribute summon monster, you've had a good turn. And a lot of times, like, Dreaming Town is kind of going to fit the same niche because that Book of Eclipse effect on Dreaming Town is so strong. And especially against Kashtira. Like, if you time it at the point where they've made, like, a Shangri-La and committed, I forget the name. Though it's a level 4 and he turns into a 7 when he banishes stuff from your deck. But it's not, like, on summon. It's a spell speed 1 ignition effect. Like, once they have that board, if you flip Dreaming Town and flip those face down, that is brutal for them to play through. Like, I've found that is really hard for them to play through at that point, especially if you have Map and Ryza in rotation, which is like not unheard of. So I don't think Scary Sea, I've just never particularly liked Scary Sea. If you do want to try it, side deck it, absolutely. Like it's good if you hard open it, but you don't want to search it because you always want to search Dreaming Town. Oh yeah, timing the second Dreaming Town effect is really, really important for sure. Like that can be game winning. So that's the other card that a lot of people I've kind of seen like, hey, do we play Scary Sea now? I don't think so. I don't think we add it in. It locks the extra deck, yes, but like, so does like a lot of other plays you can do though. Like if your opponent doesn't have anything on field that they can use as extra deck material, then you've basically locked the extra deck. You know what I mean? It's like, it's achieving the same goal, but Dreaming Town gives you a little more flexibility in exchange for a little less of a power move. Whereas like Scary Sea is deceptively conditional. Just because, like, it doesn't seem it, but once you reach that game state, there are better things that you could be doing than using Scary Sea, I think. I will go through chat and look at all this eventually. I'm just trying not to get distracted, and I really wanted to go... A bunch of people posted stuff in the community post. I really want to answer all their questions. So that was Scary Sea. Triple Tactics Thrust. I don't like Triple Tactics Thrust for this deck. I actually don't like Triple Tactics Thrust that much in general. But, so Triple Tactics Thrust for this deck, like... So if I'm going into a board, like, I want my opponent to negate something, like, and I have a Rabina in hand, I want my Prosperity negated. I want my Evenly negated. I want my Lightning Storm negated, so that my Rabina can go through. What I don't want is Rabina negated... And then, like, okay, cool, my Rabina got negated. Now I can Triple Tactic Thrust, but, like, what am I getting? You know, like, you can get Dreaming Town, yes, but you have to have a hand to use it next turn. You can get Featherstorm, yeah, but like you need to have gotten stopped at the right spots. That's kind of like, I think Thrust, it sounds really good on paper, but oh yeah, the interaction of Scary Sea and the Kashtira continuous spell is brutal. That can really mess you up. Yeah, I agree. It's better to just turbo out all 4 birds. I saw someone mention Harpist. I was thinking about bringing that back into the deck, but I think it's a little memey at this point. So I'm kind of like avoiding doing it. Time Rending Morganite. That was one that I know when it was announced, there was a huge amount of hype for it, and a lot of people were saying that Floowandereeze should play it. I'm gonna disagree on that one pretty hard. I pulled up Time Rending Morganite. Here it is. Okay, so apply these effects for the rest of the duel. You can't activate monster effects in hand. That's not really like relevant for a lot of Floowandereeze decks. Like the main hand trap we play is D-Shifter. It prevents you from looping D-Shifter, which can suck in some cases, but like not tragic. The problem with it, like the draw 2 cards instead of 1 card during your draw phase, it comes in too late. I think it comes in a little bit too late. So like, I don't know. I just don't think this card does. I don't like Time Rending Morganite overall. Like the normal summons, I don't think are super relevant in this deck. Like you get so many normal summons already, and all your birds are hard once per turns, and you have a finite amount of them. The only thing about Time Rending Morganite that I really, really, really like is the banish this card from your graveyard and discard another copy of it. Why play Time Rending I would play Snowl before playing Time Rending Morganite. Yes, absolutely. All right, I'm gonna jump to chat and just look at what you guys. So, yeah, I think the small world into water statue is just kind of a meme. All right, let's talk about barrier statue. I don't think we replace barrier statue with anything. I think we just play without it. This is not a flex, but I got to diamond in Master Duel with a less consistent version of Floowandereeze and no barrier statue. And granted, I know it's a different meta, but I like this deck works without barrier statue. Ryza not being once per turn is insane. Dreaming Town's Book of Eclipse effect is insane. You have so many really, really cool tools in this deck that losing barrier statue is not like, it's not the thing that a lot of people like who are less familiar with Floowandereeze seem to think it is. And like even some people who play Floowandereeze, I think some people do kind of like overemphasize how important barrier statue was to the deck. I think we're fine with that barrier statue overall is kind of like the beginning and end of it. I've been playing this deck since the ban list without barrier statue, and like very, very, very rarely have I sat there and been like, wow, I wish I had barrier statue. Like there have not been a lot of games, and the only games where it's kind of been that way, I could have played a little bit better. I think we kind of have to adjust how we play a little bit. Like we might have to play a little more aggressive here and there. You might have to like leave Ryza on the field after your second activation, things like that. But like, I don't think it's a thing where like you want to be going out of your way to play something that stops your opponent from special summoning anymore. Like, I don't think we necessarily need to be like jamming it, like figuring out weird ways to jam in like Fossil Dino or other barrier statues and things like that. Because like you're already starting to like the small world engine, you're already kind of starting to build like this small engine, which is taking away deck space from like other stuff that I think we need more. So I think we just kind of have to say goodbye to barrier statue, accept that he was a good little statue, and just let him play triple water and triple fire statue. Yes, just play barrier statue control at this point. Barrier statue, equip it with Moon Mirror Shield and a bunch of Solemn Judgments in the back row. Win every game. What else we got? What else have people mentioned in the comments? Oh, someone saw in chat. Someone mentioned in chat about D-Shifter. I think we keep D Shifter in the main. It is not good versus Kashtira. 100% not good versus Kashtira. But that being said, you can awkwardly force that, like in a game one where you already have D Shifter in, you can awkwardly force some of their spell traps to get banished before they might want them to. Yeah, it sucks to say it, but there's not really anything that replaces Advent. You can get like you can play Book of Moon and that does half of what Advent does kind of thing. And like, but Advent is just so, it's really hard to play this deck without Advent. Like Advent being banned, that would probably kill this deck. Barrier instead of like Barrier Statue, but is going second flow now the best choice? I personally think it is. I really do hold to the fact that, and even with that Barrier Statue, I still think this deck is really, really, really good at, once you break a board, creating a game state where it is really difficult for your opponent to rebuild. I actually blind second with this deck. Even winning the dice roll, I completely opt to go second. I've liked it so much more. D-Shifter, yeah, that is a really good point, Tenchi. Yeah, I hope Advent gets a reprint very soon too. Fingers crossed for a common Advent for everyone. I would love to see more people. Common Advent and common Prosperity. So yeah, I do think we still keep D-Shifter in the main. Even if you're playing a lot of Kashtira, there are going to be other decks. Like Kashtira is not going to be a tier 0 format, and D-Shifter is still really good against most everything else. Tier Element is still going to be around. Do not go to an event thinking that you're not going to see Tier Element. You are going to see a different Tier Element. You're going to see a slightly more fragile Tier Element, but it is still going to be around. I'm testing, so against Kashtira, because I'm playing the blind second deck, like evenly matched decimates Kashtira. Like they have nothing. There's one card that it doesn't protect them from evenly matched, but it like makes us lose a card in hand for playing evenly matched. And besides that, like they have no defense against evenly matched. Dark Ruler No More also does wonders against them. I just think going second is very strong versus Kashtira. And like, I'm testing out Imperm in the main. Like, if you Imperm Shangri-La on their turn and they can't lock all our zones down, we have a lot more space to play. That's like the biggest. Oh yeah, Nibiru. I've been thinking of siding Nibiru also. Yeah, that's anti-spell. I really, really like anti-spell in this deck. Like, once you get established, you anti-spell them, and it's like, I've already got my map established. Have fun lightning storming me. And with Ryza, it's real. Anti-spell and Ryza is one of my favorite interactions with this deck. Yeah, you don't need Yada. If Yada were a winged beast, I would play it, but because it's not, I don't think so. I think I'm torn between Nibiru in the side deck and Sphere Mode in the side deck for the Kashtira matchup. I'm leaning towards Sphere Mode because obviously if you open Nibiru is really, really good. Just blank their board when they're done building it, call it a day. The thing, Nibiru, sorry, I'm blurry. There we go. I wouldn't even try to Yada lock. So Nibiru does work. You just have to be going second. So like turn 1, your opponent does all their stuff. You Nibiru, then you start your turn and get to go off. The reason I'm leaning more towards Sphere Mode over Nibiru is because if you draw Nibiru as your 6th card, it's dead. But if you draw Sphere Mode as your 6th card, you can use it. I wouldn't main either of them though, because again, we had, like, if you're playing a dedicated go second build, you have a fair amount of really solid tools for dealing with Kashtira. And then we just double down on them, pulling them out of the side deck. Yeah, Lava Golem doesn't work for us. Well, Lava Golem doesn't work for us also because it's a special summon. But so I've seen a few people mention enemy controller. I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about pulling enemy controller back in because again, it's just really funny to take your opponent's Shangri-La or something like that. It's just like a space thing at this point. Like I'm not sure what to take out kind of thing. Like I'm not sure what to swap out, but enemy controller is 100% on my radar. Kind of like just trying to figure out what I take out to include it. Because I would want to main deck it if I'm going to play enemy controller. Because, I mean, I did get a lot of success with that card. So, like, I think it is worth keeping around. Oh. Second barrier statue. Yeah, no. I mean, we absolutely do not need Yada for this deck. I main evenly matched and Dark Ruler no more. So this is like not my current build, but yeah, at the moment, what I'm testing is 3 Dark Ruler no more, 3 evenly matched, 3 Imperm, and a Feather Duster is kind of like my go second suite of cards. And then Imperm, you get a little extra bonus out of it because it's like a good going second, but also it's not bad if you have to go first or if you don't have to use it. Like, if you draw Dark Ruler no more and Imperm, you can Dark Ruler no more and then save the Imperm for later. No, it does not. So, the Kashtira, I don't have a technical explanation for it. Someone explained it to me. I don't remember exactly what the reason is, but if your opponent locks 3 of your zones with Shangri-La and you Dark Ruler no more them, those 3 zones are still locked. But for some reason, if you Book of Eclipse it, then I think I'm not entirely sure what exactly the classification of it is, like as far as the effect. But I know negating it doesn't unlock the zones, but removing it from the field or flipping it face down does. I'll try to find like. So you can't like continue locking zones. So like here, let's just say. This is all resleeved. So, like, my opponent's locked these 2 zones, right? These are locked as long as Shangri-La is on the field. Even if I negate it with Dark Ruler no more, these 2 stay locked. They can't continue locking zones at that point, but they stay locked. And again, it's like I'm not entirely sure what the specific reason for that is. Because, again, they immediately unlock if it leaves the field. Yeah, it's kind of a lingering effect, but also lingering effect isn't a real term. The only reason I'm saying that is because a judge has yelled at me before for saying, oh, it's a lingering effect. They're like, no, that's not a real term. And I'm like, all right. But yes, technically it is a quote-unquote lingering term. Yeah, you have to remove it from the field. Here, let me go back to comments and see what else people have mentioned. Oh, I'm thinking about a second Ryza. That was kind of something a little bit in the back of my head, but I like Apex Avion so much. I don't want to lose it. All right, let's keep resleeving stuff. I'm not Book of Eclipsing in the main at the moment. And the only reason I'm not is because I'm playing 3 Dark Ruler no more and I'm playing 3 evenly matched. I would consider Book of Eclipse if you weren't like playing evenly matched. No, definitely not double Apex. I really think like the 2 M-Pen. You don't really need 2 Apex Avions though, because it's like loopable. And it would be very hard to get 2 Apexes on the field at once. Like if it were super easy to get double Apex on the field, yes. But like you can always just resummon the same Apex over and over again. I've never like found that to be overly difficult to do in most game states. I just have a few more comments to go through. Yes, if you take control of Shangri-La, it does unlock your zones. Because it's no, like, you are no longer the opponent it's referring to because it's your card. Um, no, I tried one M pen. I'll admit this. I was very wrong about it. I thought you could play this deck with just one M pen, and it's just so much better with two. They are. No, don't get me wrong. Book of Eclipse and Nibiru are very good against Kashtira. I just don't think they're the best thing against Kashtira. Part of the reason I'm not overly big on Book of Eclipse in Floowandereeze specifically is because if you don't, you have to really clear like a lot. I mean, like leaving Mindhunter on the field or Mind Hacker or whatever, like might not be tragic, but, and I mean, my biggest complaint about Book of Eclipse is that it flips everything up in the end phase. So it's not even like a thing where like you Book of Eclipse a full Kashtira board, establish M-Pen, and then everything is locked. If you take Shangri-La, does that mean you get to lock their zones? Yes, but you would have to banish their stuff face down to do it. D-Barrier, yeah, I think D-Barrier is good in the side also. I've been just trying Solemn Judgment in the side. Featherstorm, yes. Trap Trick, I think if you're gonna play D-Barrier and Featherstorm, yes to Trap Trick. Because, like, you really only need that one trap at that point. But I haven't leaned that heavy in on it personally. I do think it's worth trying out. Like, I'm not discounting the idea for sure. I mean, running, like, if you run, maybe we start leaning to more OTK Snell variant. I'm not big on Snell. I kind of mentioned it earlier in the stream. I just don't think this deck is consistent enough to like be an OTK deck. I think it's more we're just like kind of a weird control, like a weird control stun kind of deck is kind of like the vibe. 2 trick. Yeah, I think like 2 trick and 3 barrier and 3 Featherstorm is good because you're essentially running like 5 of each of them. But I'm just not personally running D-Barrier at the moment. And oh yeah, Snell is one of my favorite card arts for Floowandereeze. I absolutely love it. I wish it was more playable. 2/2 cons for consistency. And I saw someone mention 2 Strees. I don't think so. Just because Stree and 2 con, like, while they can act as starters, you absolutely need map. I just don't like 2 Dreaming Towns. I think the space is better used for other stuff. Is Morganite any good? No, I don't think Time Rending Morganite is that good. Going first, like, you kind of need that draw immediately. Yeah. By the way, if anyone's curious, Splendid Crew is my co-host on the Forbidden Memories playthrough. And the amount of times I've talked to him about a deck and his first response is play Numeron OTK in it. Yes, I am on the Pearly hype train. So for everyone in the live, you're getting a preview. The next video I'm working on, it's about Purely. I'm learning the deck, and we're kind of going to do a series where I'm going to explain like my step-by-step process for learning a deck through the lens of me learning how to play Purely. I love this deck. I actually think once we get the new support for it, I don't think it's going to be tiered, but I think it's going to be a rogue option. Like, I think Purely is definitely going to be like a solid rogue deck once we get Lily and Sleepy Memory. So I'm very excited to talk about Purely in the future. The staples and engines that are only for... I mean, Flow's weird because it's like technically a small engine, but like Purry is secretly a furry deck. Is it though? Kind of. Harpist have a mini rise. I've really been thinking about Harpist, but I just don't. I think Harpist is a little too situational. Have I considered playing the Digimon TCG? No, but it looks really cool. Yes, I have tried. We're going to come back to that in a second about the Gamma. Digimon TCG. Yes, I have tried it. Or no, I haven't tried it. Sorry. I've tried Gamma. It looks interesting though. The Digimon TCG does look really cool. I know some people who are really into it. I just only have like the brain capacity for one TCG at a time. Have I tried Gamma? Yes. I have mixed feelings about Gamma. Do I side D Fissure? I'm not anymore. I was siding D Fissure because we were in like tier 0 tier element format. And I was always between like 2 and 3. I never quite figured out which I liked more. I think 2 was the move, but I don't think it's worth it now. Because like, while I do think you're still going to see tier element around, it's not going to be as dominant. So I don't think you have to quite as heavily side for it. So I think just like, I play it more than Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays. It's more fun to me. Fair enough. I mean, it looks like a really cool game for sure. I can't mentally keep track of I can barely play more than one deck at the same time. That's a joke, but also not entirely untrue. So, I mean, I'll talk about tier element right now. So, because in the I spaced on the Forbidden Memory comment. Did you end up beating Pegasus last? I seen it. It wasn't going well for you. It was not going well for me. But the next episode should be going up either tonight or tomorrow night. So a rematch with the creator of Duel Monsters himself is going to be in there. So get ready for that. D Fissure is good in Master Duel. I got to get back on Master Duel. That's the next live. We're going to come back to it. No, Gilf the Phantom Bird, I don't like. Gilf the Phantom Bird can't pop Zombie World. That's a really important thing to know about that card. I don't particularly like Gilf the Phantom Bird. I think it's like a little too gimmicky. And like, I don't know, I would just rather run like Cosmic Cyclone. I know it's not searchable, but like, unless I'm really, really ahead, then I'm not feeling that Gilf the Phantom Bird. I just don't think we replace Barrier Statue. That's kind of like where I've really, really landed with this is like, I think we just kind of accept that Barrier Statue's gone and let it go in peace. So that's, I mean, that's sort of it. 2 M-Pen, 1 Ryza, 3. Yeah, so Tubes, I like the setup you posted. That's basically what I play also. And then everything else is Go Second stuff. If you're gonna double down on Stree or Toucan, I would do a second Toucan over a second Stree. Just because like Map and Stree is kind of like my least favorite opening, and at least like Map and Toucan, you can kind of like, you have a little more flexibility. Whereas like Map and Stree, if you don't have anything to banish, you summon the Stree and then you just stop. You can still play Barrier Statue, just play it illegally. I love it. Yeah. The problem with, okay, so the reason I never went to a second Stree, even with tier element milling, is because Stree doesn't resolve versus that deck. It is really hard to resolve Stree because they had the shufflers in graveyard. So as soon as you targeted something in either graveyard with Stree, they would just shuffle it away. Yeah, Griff doesn't deal with Zombie World. I learned that the hard way mid-game. What is your opponent going to do? Sue you? I'm not condoning illegally playing Barrier Statue, but I think it's funny. I'm not condoning it, but I think it's funny. Thanks, I appreciate it. I'll just take a moment to say, like, all the comments that I get from you guys are amazing. It's really cool. Especially seeing when you guys post stuff like you're doing really well at your locals and stuff. I love hearing that. Like, I really hope all you guys are finding, guys and gals and everyone in between. I hope you find tons of success at your locals playing Floowandereeze or not. And I love hearing about it. So it's like, it's super cool to hear. Like, oh, hey, I just topped at my locals. I did well at a regional. So definitely it was like, it's a really good push when like people post stuff like that, that they're doing well. And I'm like, yo, awesome. But yeah, I mean, so overall, I don't really have that much more to say about Floowandereeze besides like, I don't think we need to kind of, yeah, flipping Dreaming Town into statue was one of the best feelings into like a poly or something. Yeah, I really, so overall, give my like overall thoughts, and I think we're gonna do something fun. We're gonna grind a little bit on Forbidden Memories live on stream. I don't think we need to replace Barrier Statue. Is kind of like the ultimate thing I want to say. I don't think we need to lock down special summonings. Oh yeah, someone just mentioned in the chat Fossil Dyna. Like, it's a cool idea. I got wrecked by Dark Worlds at locals. Oof. Book of Eclipse, I want to do a video kind of talking about Book of Eclipse and Book of Moon. Like, I have the idea for it. But I think Book of Eclipse is an interesting card. I think it does have cool utility, but I think there's also like weird drawbacks to it as well. So I'll kind of loosely talk about it really quick before I like finish my other thought. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm very distracted. I had that idea. The Spider-Man Iron Man meme. Now I have to make it. Okay. I'm using Ultra Pro Eclipse. I got them for my extra deck because I ran out of sleeves. I couldn't find the ones I was already using, and I really like them. They feel really good. But yeah, I mean, I think we just kind of do what we were doing just without Barrier Statue. Like, we keep Dreaming Town locked down. We spin stuff with Ryza. Um, I think Gold Sark is leaving the deck in this new form of it. I don't have the space for Gold Sark anymore, I think. I really like it. I think I held on to Gold Sark probably a little longer than I should have. And I do think it is a really good card. Like, it is mini map, but I think it's kind of like time to maybe go for the card. Against Kashtira, I would heavily consider Eclipse over Raigeki. I would as well. Because they're just going to protect the Shangri-La and potentially lock more of your stuff. I don't think Gold Sark is essential. I think if you have space, it's really cool. And I might put it back in as a 41st card. Terraforming, I think we keep. I actually really like Terraforming in the deck. I just love having that map access at all times. And I do kind of sometimes side Terraforming out, but I really like having it. Especially if I get forced to go first, having that extra, like, I forget what the odds are, but it adds a significant amount higher chance of seeing map. So I do like Terraforming in the deck. Am I still on enemy controller? Not at the moment, but I'm thinking about putting it back in. I talked about it a little bit earlier. One triple tactic talent, I wouldn't main triple tack at all. I'm just not a big fan of it for this deck specifically. Metaverse, if we go first, I don't think so. I don't know what we would really metaverse into. Loosely about Book of Eclipse, it's really good going into an established board, but I don't think it's as good going first, especially not as a defensive option, because they let you do Rubina and then they go to Imperm your Eaglin. If you Book of Eclipse, you have to flip both of them face down, which means you're not getting either of them in the graveyard, Whereas like Book of Moon, you just flip the Eaglin and you get the Rabina back. So it's kind of like there's pros and cons to Book of Eclipse. It is really, really, really good. For Book of Eclipse is really, really, really good against Kashtira. But I also think evenly matches better. Wait, hang on. I'm going to talk about the terraforming thing really quick. So if you're running map, 40 cards, drawing 6 cards because we're going second, 3, you have a 40% chance of opening map without terraforming. But if you add terraforming, it actually goes up to almost a 50-50 chance. You have a 49% chance. Yeah, I missed Metaverse into Mystic Mine also. But so terraforming basically gives you like a plus 15 into a 15% chance higher of seeing oh my god, map. Yeah, I kind of like Book of Moon more. I think Book of Moon's a little more flexible, but Eclipse really does just blank the entire Kashtira board. And that's kind of it. All right, so I think what we're going to do, because I've resleeved a lot of cards, and I'm running on not a lot of sleep. I went to go see a live orchestra play Lord of the Rings last night. It was really cool. I got home at 2:30 in the morning, so I'm a little exhausted. I am going to turn off my screen for a second, set up Forbidden Memories. I think we're going to grind a few matches on that and then call it a night. So if you've got more Floowandereeze questions, feel free to throw them out there while I set up Forbidden Memories. Oh, sorry. Is Lancia a good side deck against Kashtira? I'm not sure. It stops a lot of what they do, and it does stop them from getting into a Rise Heart the hard way. So you would use Lancia on their turn to like stop them from setting up. So like it definitely does have utility. I haven't tested it yet, so I can't really say. On paper though, it does sound really good. Catch you later. Thank you for coming by. All right. Let me get Forbidden Memories set up because we're going to play a little bit of that for fun. Oops. There we go. All right. Let's turn down the volume on this a little bit. Okay. Let's try that one more time. That got really loud. There we go. Much better. All right. Can everyone see Forbidden Memories? Let's just get this sized proper. Because we're going to rock a few games of this. Just kidding. We're going to close that. And there we go. Okay, Imperial Iron Wall. Yeah. Imperial Iron Wall is never fun. The fact that people like play that makes me sad. Oh, this hand's terrible. I love this game, but it is not kind to me with the hands that it gives me sometimes. What do we do here? What did our opponent play? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, wait, we can beat that. We're going to go boom, boom, boom. What? How does that not equip? It's a dark. So, if you've ever want to see me get angry on stream, this is going to be it. Cuz this game emotionally taxes me. I love it, but it emotionally taxes me. Oh, here we go. All right. Get wrecked, Meadow Mage. He's playing Ballpark. Let's go. Twin-headed Thunder Dragon. That's the meta. Yeah, play your Sogan. It doesn't matter. I got Twin-headed Thunder Dragon. What are you going to do? We're going to play a trap. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, if you guys have, Lou Splenda, or Splenda Crew, he's in the chat right now. He's my co-host as we're playing through this game. And the last episode that we did gets heated. The emotions run wild. What's the price? Hold on. Let's find out. I'm going to pause this really quick. I'm going to look up Advent for all y'all and see what it's going for right now. Gate Guardian is the God card. No, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is the God card in this game. Advent of Adventure. Why is it not coming up? Floowandereeze and the Advent of Adventure. Here we go. So you can pick up Advents right now for 15 each. It's not a bad price. They might go down to 10, but it's kind of a tough call. I mean, I get it. They're expensive. I 100% get that. Like 15 a card is rough. But like, I hate saying it. I really feel bad saying like, you kind of need this card to play the deck. I looked at, I got mine for, I think 9 each. They're like, I got them in this weird dip kind of around when they first came out. Yeah, Pearly got expensive. You want to talk about something weird? Pearly, like, that's another one. I picked up my like playset of Pearlies for 9 each. They're like $20 now. Figure that one out, because I have no idea. Yeah, Solage, that's right. They're about 14. Did we get Prospies for 35 each? Nice, I love it. Ooh, we got Metal Dragon. That's really good. We're going to put Metal Dragon right in the deck. What are we taking out? Put Metal Dragon in. Do we get 2? Oh, look at that. Let's take out Armed Zombie. We don't need him. Yeah, I mean, I think you just kind of might have to pick up Advent at the price it's at. I don't know what it's going to do as far as price. Because I really don't think Floowandereeze is going to fall off. That's kind of like the whole thing. Like, it's not going anywhere. And I think just everything's kind of expensive at this point, so it's kind of tough to be like, is it going to get cheaper? You know what I mean? You do, I will say this, though. You do absolutely need it to play the deck. This hand is terrible. Yo, imagine if in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! You could look at your hand, just be like, this hand is terrible, and just throw all of them away and be done with it. Defense mode. Pass. I love Simon. Simon's the man. I gave, oh, here we go. No, here we don't go. I gave Simon a Cobra Commander voice on the playthrough, and I'm not entirely sure what. Why did that make Flame Swordsman? I mean, he's getting a boost. Oh, crap. Did not mean to pass turn there. No, not my Flame Swordsman. I'm bad at this game. Yeah, right? Tier Element would be tier 0 again if you could just do that. I discard 5 cards to draw 5 cards. Yeah, that's Kit Kalos. That's basically Kit Kalos's effect. Oh, what are we? Oh, we're making Judge Man. Nice. All right, that's good. Just keep fusing into one monster. When I get my twin-headed Thunder Dragon out, you're in for it, buddy. I said when I get twin-headed Thunder Dragon out. Oh, wow. How much more expensive is the original than the Mega Packs? I haven't looked at Prosperity prices in a really, really long time. I just kind of like have had my playset from when I was playing Guru Control, and I have not looked back since. I have too many dragons. This is a very rare problem for me. It's usually like not enough dragons. And Sword Art Dragon. That's not going to help us here. We're in trouble. We can't get twin-headed out. We are gonna get hurt by Judge Man. That's Swordstalker. Yeah, Swordstalker. I vividly remember going to like, this was years ago. This was like in LOB Metal Raiders. Oh, we're gonna Dark Hole here. Like LOB Metal Raiders kind of like time when, you know, you could go to locals and like half the people thought the game worked as like the Duelist Kingdom rules. Someone played, without tributing, played Swordstalker, and then was like, it gets a boost for everything in the graveyard. I'm like, wait, am I crazy? Am I going crazy? It doesn't say that anywhere on the card. They're like, no, it does it on the show. Yeah, anyway, read the rules was kind of the lesson of the day there. But, oh, a $25 difference. Wow. Yeah, the Raigeki animation in this game is really cool. Same with the Dark Hole. The Swords of Revealing Light animation in this game is actually really, really cool, too. There we go. Okay. Now we're in a good spot. Twin-headed with the Dark Energy, which equips to twin-headed and not an actual dark. Figure that one out, chat, because I don't know. For the algorithm reasons, that's a regular seltzer, by the way. Ooh, let's make another twin-headed. No, Ultimate Slayer is not good against Kashtira because of Arise Heart. Arise Heart is basically, Arise Heart is Dark Law, and you can't, what's it called, Ultimate Slayer under it. I was thinking of that too, and then I reread Arise Heart and realized that it had that, like, everything gets banished effect. It does mess with D-Shifter, but that's not even, like, the main issue is really the whole Arise Heart being a walking dark, not that Dark Law isn't walking. Yeah. I love Ultimate Slayer. I really do. And it's like, I've been itching to play the card, but it's like, I've never quite found the right place or time for it. Yeah, this will do. Wait, what? Oh no, I messed up my fusion. That's okay. No, it's not. We're going to lose. A Rise Heart reads like a custom card. Like, that thing is insane. What is the Gravekeeper spell? We lost. I misplayed that. I was not paying attention to what I fused. What Gravekeeper spell? Oh, are you talking about Necro Valley? Yeah, Necro Valley is insane versus Tier Element. If that's the one you're thinking of. Yeah, a Rise Heart is just like... What? A non-once per turn, non-targeting banish? And your Dark Law on top of that? And you have a really easy summon condition of just overlaying onto a Kashtira if you've resolved Shangri-La? And you recharge yourself? Like, that's a create a card. That is a create a card right there. Insanity. Stop making... That should make Sword Arm of Dragon. Oh, that's cool. I gotta check that out. That would be really good against Tier Element. I mean, I just don't think we have to worry that much about Tier Element anymore, though. Which is a weird thing to say, like, because it is still going to be around. And it is still going to be a very good deck. But, like, it's not going to be a thing where you show up to an event and you play against 7 out of 8 Tier Element players. You know what I mean? I still have to... My play group is still, like, mostly Tier Element players. I'm the lone Floowandereeze player. What? How do we... I don't know how we out that Millennium Shield. I don't know what we do about that. So... That's not good. A really cool part of this game... I'll show it in a little bit. I don't really have a good opportunity to do it right now. Yeah, right. Not praying to draw that. Alright, let's bait an attack. Hit my baby dragon. Run is dead. We can do it from here. We just kind of have to, like, play the AI a little bit. Oh, you know what? Umi does it from here. If we draw Umi, we can do this. Oof, that's rough. That mistake play that you just mentioned? Yeah, I adore Forbidden Memories. It is one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh games. Baby Dragon! R.I.P. Baby Dragon. Joey Wheeler, best Yu-Gi-Oh character. I will not be taking any questions on that statement. Joey Wheeler, best DM character. Who's the best GX character? Who's everyone's favorite GX character? Let's get that one going. Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh GX character, go. Are you kidding? My Guardian Star is wrong. Kaiba's not a GX character. Stop it, Lou. Oh, what do I do about this? Hey. Oh, yeah, the Chaz. Okay, Chaz, top tier GX character, absolutely. Let's nuke the field. Why not? Yeah, Chaz is pretty great. Oh, you said Kaiba before I said the GX thing? Actually, Kaiba is in GX, isn't he? Doesn't he, like, randomly show up here? What? How did... You just fused into an equip spell? I have played this game a ton in the past. I did not know you could do that. We drew the out. We drew the out. Now we just have to hope they don't drop another Millennium Shield on us. There's no world that's not a Millennium Shield. All right, let's put it in Moon. Oh, it's not. Nice. Yes, the bot does cheat. Okay, so here's a good one actually in this game. So you can fake out the game by setting stuff face down. Except Pegasus. Built into the game, Pegasus knows what every single face down you play is because he has the Millennium Eye. Like, it's built into this game that Pegasus can always see your hand and everything you set on the field. It's like a really cool little like Easter egg in this game. But yes, Pegasus absolutely does cheat. And yeah, towards the end of the game, once you get to like the last, I think like 6 duels, the AI player is holding, I think it's like a 20 card hand at all times. Yeah, we beat 2. All right, what'd we get? Okay, we got some good stuff there. I think I got 2 more of these in me, and then I am, yeah, I wish he played the tunes also. I got 2 more of these in me, and then I think we're going to call it a night. So, huge thanks for everyone who showed up, by the way. It's been a ton of fun. Always fun to talk Floowandereeze with people. I wish I had nicer things to say about Snowl. I'm sorry. But, I think at the end of the day, the important thing to remember is we're going to all be okay without a barrier statue. As long as we have twin-headed Thunder Dragon, we'll be A-okay. But yeah, so we're definitely gonna try to be doing streams more regularly going forward. It's a ton of fun to do these. You guys are great when we do them also, and I gotta get on Master Duel more. Did you ever do the 3 memory card trick? No. What is the 3 memory? Stop playing Millennium Shield. What is the 3 memory card trick? I'm very curious. I did not know about it. I mean, we're just going to keep making twin-headeds, I guess. I don't know. As soon as we can add that Millennium Shield, we're going to be in a really good spot. What do I make here? I know what we make here. We'll just burn through some cards. No, we can get 1 more in there. We're making a big fusion. Here we go. Okay. Sword Arm of Dragon. And Black Dragon Thunder King. Jungle King, sorry. Throw that in defense. And let's poke in over Guilt of the D-Knight. And now we gotta stare at that Millennium Shield some more. Catch you later. Have a good night. Thank you for showing up. We're gonna call it soon ourselves as well. I wanted to play more of this, but this like Millennium Shield on Millennium Shield thing is really starting to get draining, like emotionally and mentally taxing on me. So like, oh, this game. You have your main game saved on 1 card and keep resetting the second card to the card trade to the third. Oh, that's cool. No, I didn't know that. we just we just struggled through this game back in the day. Like, I mean, we're also, so for the playthrough, we're playing a 15 card mod. So like every win you get 15 cards instead of just one. And it makes the game like playable for like a series like this. Like it's not going to be like a 100 episode series of us playing Forbidden Memories. Which, as much fun as that might be, pretend it's a Rise Heart. Yeah, I need to draw my evenly matched. Guess what? We're making another twin-headed Thunder Dragon. Let's go. I hope you guys can hear the music in this game, by the way, because it is so good. If you ever want, like, need good background music for something, look up the Forbidden Memory soundtrack. Amazing, amazing music. I can't make another twin-headed, unfortunately, but we can make a stone dragon. And I'll just leave it there to die. Custom card, Arise Heart. That's just, it's such an insane card. Like, I hate to keep going back to how crazy that card is, but Arise Heart is brutally good. Alright, we are slowly chipping away at our opponent's life points. Blind going second cards for main deck. Yes. Absolutely play Dark Ruler no more. Absolutely play Evenly Match. I just recently started playing Imperm, but I've been liking it a lot. I think it is really good, just like generically. Tell me we have a... Oh, no, we don't have a Moon one. Oh, this is going to go on forever. Yeah, and definitely Duster. Are you kidding? Swords? Are we kidding right now? I don't know if Dark Hole clears that. But, yes, sorry. To answer that question, blind going second cards for the main deck. Dark Ruler no more and evenly matched? Absolutely. Judge, my opponent has 4 copies of Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon. It's not okay. Judge, my opponent has Swords of Revealing Light. I really don't think Scary Sea is worth playing. It's just like every time, unless you're like always hard opening it, but like you can't guarantee that. I think Dreaming Town is always the better search off of MPen. Like, I think Dreaming Town is objectively the best search off of MPen. Let's take a chance in Dark Hole here. I don't know. What one of would be good going blind second? I mean, if you've got one extra card slot, like Terraforming, I think is good in blind second. Oh, here we go. Twin-headed time. We win. And we're going to put it in Moon. Yeah, Lightning Storm's not... I would do Lightning Storm over Raigeki just because Lightning Storm can clear back row as well. Does Baby Dragon take Dark Energy? Let's find out. We're going to win with Baby Dragon. Oh, here. Since this is the last game, and I totally forgot, I'm going to show off the coolest part of this game. Check this out. I like Terraforming. I mean, like I said, in the blind second match, if you're running 3 copies of map, it's like I think it was like a 33% chance or something of finding map in your opening hand. But if you add Terraforming, it opens you up to like a 49% chance of having map access. I mean, obviously, like, granted, the Terraforming has to resolve, But like if you have like Rabina in your hand and terraforming and your opponent ashes the terraforming, that's best case scenario. Like I would much rather have terraforming get ashed than a Rabina. I mean, I'm kind of like throwing a lot of like hypothetical stuff out there, but I just think overall terraforming is kind of like slept on for Floowandereeze. I could understand not wanting to run Gold Sark for sure. I personally like it. But terraforming I just think is really good in the deck. So, yeah, right? So, on that note, thank you everyone for showing up. It's been a ton of fun. Like I said, we're going to try to do these more often. And yeah, I will catch you all later. And again, if anyone was considering picking up a playmat, I do want to throw it out there. There are only 4 of them left. And yeah, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Have a great night, everyone.